Hello, welcome back to the Villa View. It's time for a match preview for the huge game at Brighton on Saturday.
Well, it is a huge game against Brighton on Saturday, isn't it? You called it perfectly, and you know it feels like this is a bit of an extension of that terrible December run we had where we were playing Southampton, Newcastle, Watford. You know, we're back into the kind of lower end, the must-win teams, and Brighton are one of those because they've been dragged right into it.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that scares me because, as you say, you expect to lose to Man City, although, as we discussed in the pod, not to the extreme that we did, but Brighton, these are the kind of things that you need to win because you need to drag them further into trouble and put yourselves away from safety a little bit. I think the Brighton fans in general are probably quite happy with their season so far because, albeit they're in a similar position, I think the football's been a lot more fluent and fluid, so I think they're enjoying this season so far. Brighton, they've got some good players. They seem to like the manager. They kind of flip between playing three at the back and then playing more, sometimes a 4-4-2. I remember they came to Villa Park in October, I think it was, and they played like a 4-4-2, but not within a diamond with four central midfielders. And until they got a man sent off, they were popping up all over the place and causing us problems. And to be fair, that day, even with 10 men, they were seeing a loss of the ball, weren't they?
Yeah.
They're a decent footballing side. They don't score many goals. We've just looked through their top scorers, and Malpay's got 6 or 7, hasn't he? And then after that, it's like kind of defenders chipping in with 3 around him. I think Connolly's got 3, but 2 of them came in one game.
Yeah.
So they're not full of goals, Brian. It's a game we've got to be looking to go there and win.
Yeah, for sure. And just to touch on what you were talking about before, with the Brighton fans thinking, you know, it's a more enjoyable season. It's easier to enjoy a season when you're playing nice football and you don't have kind of injury concerns falling out all the time and all that kind of stuff. But we've got to remember that we beat Brighton on Saturday. We're level on points with them.
Yeah.
You know, they currently sit 14th, right, and on 24 points. It's a huge game for us because we can really drag them back into it whilst kind of pushing them down and clambering over them.
Yeah, you've got to try and stay in touch with Newcastle are 13th on 26 points. From 13th down, I think them teams are all in the mix, aren't they? Mm. We want to try and be pulling Newcastle closer, never mind Brighton, but it's a classic 6-pointer, isn't it? If you win and they don't pick up anything, you're putting yourselves ahead of them. I mean, I'm not sure what the goal difference situation is, but we had that was like an extra point at one stage, and now it's quite simply just not at all.
No, they're 10 goals ahead of us.
That was something I was hanging my hat on.
Yeah.
At one point. I'm hoping it's going to be like the Burnley game, where we just rock up and surprise everyone and come away with a win.
How likely do you think that is after the demolition? I mean, I guess we went
50-50, mate.
We went after Watford, didn't we, and surprised Burnley. Do you think that's a possibility after the humiliation of the Man City debacle?
I think it's 50-50, genuinely. I think you'd rather obviously be playing Brighton at our place. I think playing away from home, I think Brighton have been reasonably good at home. I also think it's kind of easier to be Brighton in a relegation scrap. There's less expectation, isn't there? Albeit we've only just come up. I mean this not disrespectfully at all, but Brighton fans they're happy to even be in the Premier League. Whereas for us, we kind of just expect it, don't we? Because of who we are and what we've done in the past, we just expect it. There's more pressure on our players, I think, because the expectation levels are higher.
I think there is an expectation around being an Aston Villa player. I don't necessarily agree that the Brighton fans just think that they're there to make up the numbers.
They don't want to go down. I'm not saying that for 1 minute, but you know what? They'll be down in the doldrums, down in the leagues lower than the Championship, haven't they? It wasn't that long ago. Mm. They're happy with being in the Premier League. They just want to survive. Whereas long term, I think our aspirations are bigger than that. Going down for us is an absolute disaster. I don't think it is for them. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I'm not sure what their financial situation is like.
Pretty well run.
Yeah?
Yeah, pretty savvy run over the years.
They're owned by
Tony Bloom.
But yeah, he's a poker billionaire, isn't he?
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know.
Good club, Brighton, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I can't speak for Brighton fans to say that if they went down, they kind of...
I'm not saying they'd be happy.
They'd be chuffed a bit to it.
I know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but for Villa, it's been a horrible couple of years to get back into the Premier League, and to go back down at the first time of asking would be a nightmare. Both kind of for the kind of stature of the club, but also potentially financially as well. let's look at the actual game then. And Brighton have obvious concerns, one of which Villa have been linked with for more than a season now. Maupay, how do we control him? How do we handle him? And how does Villa get the best of Brighton?
He's busy, but I've always thought if we play three centre-backs, which I think we will, I think as one up top, sometimes it's hard to play against three centre-backs. You can end up cut adrift a little bit. I mean, he's been a success and he's a very, very good player, but he's got a couple more goals than what Wesley has. I mean, I've no doubt that Dean Smith would have wanted to have him here. The price was probably a little bit too high for us. We didn't want to spend that money, having spent 22 million on Wesley.
Yeah.
Right, the fact they're at home, every time I've seen them at home, they've been quite good. I mean, they drew with Chelsea in their last game. I remember them thumping Tottenham earlier in the season. Their crowd get behind them as well at home. I think Brighton can be sometimes a difficult place to go, but then they've also got a strange result in them as well. Brighton, they'll lose one that you don't expect, and I just hope on Saturday that's one of them.
Yeah, for sure. Also, switching that around, because Brighton often play in a similar way with three at the back. Then how does Villa break that down, considering we don't have any centre forwards?
I think we'll go back to 5-2-3.
Yeah,
I think it'll be Drinkwater and Louise probably in midfield, which with Drinkwater's fitness and Louise sometimes having a tendency to get caught out of position defensively, that's a little bit of a concern. I don't know whether Target's back at the time of recording. We obviously haven't had the press conference. We could sign someone and have a striker.
That's true.
It's not looking likely. I'm not expecting us to at the moment, and that's a worry. This is obviously Wednesday night now, and I don't feel like we're close to anything. So I think it'll be El Ghazi up top, Grealish on the left, and Trezeguet on the right. Similar setup to against Leicester in the Cup.
Is there a chance that actually Drinkwater could be the best thing for Louise? Because he kind of lets Louise go a little bit more. Obviously, if Drinkwater's fully fit and Premier League fit, then he maybe allows Louise to attack a little bit more and show a little bit more of his creative flair.
It's difficult because I think you can only do so much in midfield when you've got no strikers, to some extent. I think it's very, very difficult. I'm not knocking the El Ghazi up there because I thought he tried hard against Man City, but it's not his natural game, is it? You need either someone who's running the channels and getting in behind, which El Ghazi is capable of doing, although it's not his natural game doing it from a central position.
Yeah.
Or you need a target man and someone who's going to hold it up, and we just don't have that at the moment.
Another important position is the one in between the two sticks. Neeland, who started off pretty well, deputising for Heaton, obviously came under literal fire from Sergio Aguero and company on Sunday. Not company, he's gone.
You were going to say.
But conceding 6, does that open the door for Pepe Reina to take the gloves?
I'd be shocked if Reina didn't start after that. Just to calm us down, a bit of know-how, a bit of experience, someone who's been there and done that. I think there's no way in hell Reina doesn't play.
Right.
I almost 100% certain Reina will play.
Happy with that?
Yeah, I am. As I say, I wasn't, as I said in the podcast, I didn't massively see the point of the signing at the time, but it's one of those ones that's grown on me, and the need for experience, and you think about what Heaton did with his experience. Reina's experience is at a grander stage, if that makes sense. If he can just give us that little bit of leadership and know-how that we were certainly missing against Manchester City, you've got to try and get every little edge that you can.
The only other position I feel like is kind of up for grabs. Obviously, we don't know about left back just yet, but right back.
Gilbert will play.
Gilbert?
Yeah,
he's back.
He'll put Gilbert in. I'm almost certain.
Because Brighton are a weaker side, and he thinks Gilbert can expose them a little bit more.
As in the podcast, I'm still not really sure why that change was made.
Yeah.
There's not any one reason that I could look at and say that was why we made that change. I'm hoping Trezeguet, who will probably play on the right flank, I'm hoping he picks up from where he left off against Man City, because he looked lively when he came on, and we've said before that people come on and look good and then they start the next game and they don't look good. We need to break that cycle. We need Trezeguet. We spent money on him, like we need him to start delivering and be a bit more consistent. And that's the thing we need from everyone, just a little bit more consistency. It's very up and down all the time.
Yeah, I totally agree. We just need some blanket good performances, build on them.
Clean sheet would be stupendous.
Get some results. What a massive lift that would be if Reina came in and built a clean sheet.
Yeah, just to win comfortably as well, just to 2-0 or something. But you know what? If you asked me to predict a score, my life was on the line. I genuinely couldn't pick one. I don't know.
That doesn't bode well for the next segment.
No.
Predict a
Do you know what? Do you know what I mean? I genuinely haven't got a clue what Villa's going to turn up.
No, and you look at the Brighton previous results. They've beaten Bournemouth, but then they lost to Everton.
Home, they drew with Chelsea last game.
Yeah, they obviously went out in the FA Cup, but that doesn't mean a huge amount.
Moyes on decent form in midfield as well. They've enjoyed having him there. It's a real tough one to call. I really don't know. Part of me feels like predicting us to lose just because when I've done that, we tend to have won.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a win. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. I think it's going to be cagey and hard fought, but I don't know where are 2 goals going to come from.
We've got to keep it tighter than we did against Man City, which is a silly thing to say, but you know what? We've got to go ahead.
Yeah,
I feel like we have to go ahead. If we go ahead, we'll be okay. Like against Burnley. Burnley, we set our stall out in that game and started excellently. You know what? We had a goal disallowed, but it didn't deter us. We then went and scored again straight after. Scored one right on half time. You know, we looked fluid going forward.
I'm changing my prediction.
We looked resolute at the back. You're changing your prediction.
Yeah. I'm going to go 1-0. We're going to win 1-0
to Villa.
Yes. Yeah. Clean sheet. El Ghazi to score, and it's just going to be a complete turnaround from Man City. I'm going ultra positive, and let's bring it home.
I'm going to go KG 1-1.
Okay.
KG 1-1. Drawing's not an absolute disaster, but we just need to start picking up 3 points.
Yeah, we absolutely.
I feel like because I can't call it, that's 1-1.
Who's going to get the goal? Jack.
I don't know why it took me so long to come up with the most obvious answer there.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Sometimes they're staring us in the face,
yeah.
Dan. Well, good luck to the Villa boys. Make sure you check out this week's podcast. We rate all the players, how we think that they've done so far this season. A few disagreements in there, not too many, but only a couple. So make sure you check that out as well. We'll be back next week with another podcast. But as always, up the Villa.
If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.